we have one more empty chair. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's the greatest action director of all time. You have to get out of your seats and give it up for the one, the only, Mr. John Woo.
Company, Sandino and Catalina and giving us a great support. And then, of course, my idols here, my new idols. So without them, the movie will look bad. I also have to thank the writer Robert Leeds and for such a brilliant script and it's so smart and so targeted. And I also like to thank my editor, Neil Steinberg. He really gave me a great help. He controlled the rhythm because the movie had no dialogue. So the rhythm and the tempo and the pace is very important. And then how to draw the audience attention that he had made, not a big work, it's such a, and I'd like to thank him. The whole team, including the Mexican and the American, somebody from Colombia and French, so we all, the whole team worked together so well. And the study coordinator and people from John Wick, so they all did a great job. Thank you. The challenge was how to using some kind of technique or anything visual or sound to make the audience understand, to accept the story and also moved by the story and by the character. So that's a very challenging because sometimes when you got no dialogue, you have to make them understand and also make an audience after watching the whole movie, they didn't feel missing anything. And by the meantime, the challenge is about what kind of actor you're working. And because we need a brilliant actor, like Joe and Catalina, to deliver a great performance. And so I think the good actor made a greater contribution.
what does it feel like to be called a great actor by John? It's alright, it's not bad. But for both of you, I mean, this is challenging for both of you in very different ways. Catalina, I think you're very much the kind of like the emotional heart and the center of the film. And then Joel, from the moment we see you, you're wearing a reindeer sweatshirt, and then you shift from being like this wholesome family dad into this ultimate killing machine. So as you worked your way through the script, how did you process, how did you channel, what were the challenges that you had as you were working through this film without any dialogue? Because it's all here, right?
Yeah, well, we didn't have to learn any lines, so like, you know, so we could focus on the other parts of the journey. But I think both me and Catalina like realized that it was, you know, some of these really emotional scenes, usually you have the text, and actually the text helps you get into the emotion. It can be a trigger and sort of a catalyst into those emotions. But here, it was like you really just had to like get into the. I mean, we did some screaming, so that, you know, that got cut out of the movie, but it helped us. But it was, yeah. I mean, it was difficult, but you know, in these kind of the emotional scenes that we were you know going for, it's so important that you have someone with you that gets to those frequencies, and so I was so grateful when we had those scenes that I had Catalina there, and you know, when we sort of helped trigger each other to get to those places. But yeah, it was an interesting journey to have to like really try to, you know, I mean, there's always moments, periods of films where you're telling a story, you know, with your inner dialogue. But to have the whole film just be portrayed in that, I mean, it was challenging, but it was, you know, it also, you know, there are challenges, but then there's also like opportunities, like the way that John shot the film, it kind of made me understand, you know, how to approach it in other ways as well. So, you know, in a normal film, when you have the you know, the dialogue back and forth, you have to shoot coverage, and you know that takes a lot of time. But here we didn't have any coverage. We didn't need any. So for every scene, John would just design one beautiful shot that like told the whole story of the scene. And you know, those were the kind of things that, I mean, of course that was part of his original vision, but it was a learning process and a discovery process of like how do you tell a story with no dialogue.
Catalina, was your experience the same?
Yeah, sort of. I feel that, you know, in those emotional scenes, and I feel that in this movie I just cried.
But you're so good at it.
You have to have an inner dialogue. Even though there's no words written on a page, if you turn off your dialogue, the emotion is gone. You have to be always on. You know, it's not like in some sort of movies that you are with someone and you just see the camera where the camera's going. Like in this kind of movie, you have to be always on because
Yeah, it was more demanding. It really was.
It was crazy, and people are like, oh well, you didn't have to learn any lines, so easy. That's the contrary. I think it's more challenging for an actor to, especially challenging emotions. You know, not just sadness, but you know, anger and you know, emotional stuff. I think is more difficult than just words. So I think, you know, I agree with what Joel's said about you can challenge those emotions with someone there. Even though we didn't talk, I knew that there was someone receiving and giving me the same kind of energy that I was giving. So it was very balanced in that way. So you feel safe giving that sort of emotion.
Yeah, you trigger each other.
It was great.
And did you understand the characters implicitly from the script? Was it something that came when you were both cast and you were working together in the pre-production? Was it something that John brought to the table that you started to work your way through before you actually shot the film?
I mean, it's kind of the thing where, you know, that often happens on movies. You say hi, you know, and then like, okay, now we're gonna play that we've been married and the love of our lives for 10 years, you know, and then you hang out with these kids that you get to borrow for a few weeks, and then you throw them around a little bit and try to get them comfortable.
Oh,
and
actually, that's a very cute story. The kid that played our son, he was, how old was he? Like 7 or 8?
yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, there were so many of them. I can't.
The big
Oh, anyway, yeah.
I do remember my kid. He was 7. He was the one that was shot. But he was so because there was this moment where he wanted to shoot the actual where he gets killed, and this kid is in the floor. We're like, shh, you're gonna get killed. Just fall asleep. And he's like, okay. And then they took so long. I don't know why the explosions or the whatever was happening, and the kid actually fell asleep. So when he woke up, he was filled with blood. Blood everywhere. And I was like, okay, we're ready. And the kid is like, what is going on? It was so, and plus, you are crying, oh, my kid is dying. And the kid is like, no, I want to get out.
Shut up, what kind of act?
Where the poor kid, I mean, like, he didn't understand. The mother didn't tell him that as soon as you open your eyes, you're going to be bloody up. You need to stay there. He was freaking out. He was like, what is going on? Where my mom? And he wanted to stand up, and Joe was like, no, we need to go towards Freddy.
And also, the kid did not speak any English. You know, so my Spanish is so.
I was there to say it.
And John, for you, this is going into it. This film is different. Obviously, there's a script, but there's no dialogue. When you read the script and you received the script, did you instantly paint the film in your head? Did you understand how everything was going to work? Because this feels like rich territory for you and a playground that you've played in before.
Well, when I read the script, I already got a picture in my mind. I just feel it's just like other movies, like other script read, and just regular dialogue. So I just shot the film normally. But one thing I realized, I need to change the style a little bit. So so that's why you don't even see any pictures in my film. Because I want everything is look more realistic and tone down the violence a little bit. Like Butler, his character is he's an ordinary man. He's not a superhero. He's not a super fighter. He's a real man. So it's a man.
John, the movie's pretty violent. Yeah.
Love his son and his family. So that's why I had a picture is that try to make it different from what I have done before. My movie usually a little bit over the top, But in the meantime, since I have no doubt, and I figure out the music. And I think the music is a better language in the film. I must say I need to thank my composer, Marco. He really did a great job. And the guitar music thing Saturday night, it was played by his son. His son played guitar.
You didn't cover him in blood and shooting, did you? You didn't cover him in blood and shoot the son, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
So I think that the music should take credit, and not only the sound. The song is, I think the movie is about saying sound, yeah. So I think that besides the visual, the sound is very important. You know, when is it, you know, the bigger sound, the lower sound, the eight make a lot of difference. So
It's almost another character, the sound design and the construct there, and also the music as well. In talking about the music, some of the music.
No, I didn't have any inspiration. So it's anyway, all we need is just good performance.
And so this performance from Joel, Joel, we've seen you. You've been physical in your movies for a lot of years, going all the way back to Snap of Cash, RoboCop, Red Flag. We were able to screen Suicide Squad here. This one, though, I think above any of the others, you got your ass handed to you, and you probably kicked more ass than you've ever seen before. Can you talk about the physical demands of this? Because it looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of been an accumulation of working with the same stunt guys. I've been training a lot with like 8711, the Chad Stahelski and John Wick guys, and on this one, because it was a character that shouldn't really have any skills, so what we were working on was me more being able to, do more of some of the uglier stunt stuff, like falling stairs and just taking the beatings, and to just sort of get that gritty feel, and also because John really wanted to have long takes without, so we didn't want to cut up the action scenes. So then we sort of designed the action after that, that sort of requirement, so it doesn't have to cut. But that also means that you can't, cut to the stunt guy doing it. So we sort of designed the action around the things that I could do. But yeah, that was a lot of work. But I really enjoyed that part of storytelling. It's if anyone has been in a car crash or in a fight, that the perception of time just really warps, and like a couple of seconds can feel like a lifetime. There's so many things that goes on, and if you've been in a fight, then you know that you can have that interaction with another person, and you both can feel like it's going through an eternity, but it's actually maybe 10 seconds in real life. So I find that part of action and storytelling in action interesting, and trying to make it realistic, just trying to get some of it, like a sense of what it could feel like.
And so John, for you, as you're in making this film?
Yeah, I had, there's some kind of angle, when I'm shooting the action, of course I have three kids and myself, when I feel, when the movie about the little child being murdered, about then, so I feel anger as well. So I asked them I asked my stunt team to design some more, little more, violent, action.
And realistic, right?
And the one thing I want to explain why I like to take the long take during the fight. Most of the fight scene I really take a long take and they decided that we are short of time, so actually we didn't get much time. And the other thing, I'm trying to make all the action look more powerful and realistic. So it actually they were real fights. They were really hitting your face, punching the guts, and and then you don't need the sound effect if you don't understand. Pam pam pam. It sounds very angry. And so the other, just
When we hit each other real, that was by mistake. Clarify that.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened, but it's all
Very
by
harsh
mistake.
stories on
Yeah,
set?
and when you say, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
How long was the shoot?
what?
How long was the shoot?
Was it 10 weeks? How many weeks was it?
Oh, the whole movie?
It felt like 3 months, but I think it was 2.5.
Oh, it was about 38 to 40 days.
Oh, it was.
And how much of that was how much of that was spent in the action sequences, choreographing, all of that?
Is it 2 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I came down 3 weeks before we started shooting.
Did it feel good getting back into the action? Because this is a very intimate film. The last sort of 15 years or so, the films you've been making, the Crossing, those two films, Red Cliff, those two films, those are big, sweeping, sprawling epics. This feels far more contained and far more intimate. Was that a decision that you wanted to make? You wanted to make something more contained?
Well, I must say that I already get fed up with all the big budget movies. And, one of the reasons why I left for a while, they went to China to make some film. Because once I established as an A-list director or big budget movie director, so they only send me the script, or action. There's an action movie, and those much of smaller project and for the push script, they have never sent it to me. Because I love drama, actually, I love drama, I love human drama, and I can make pretty good comedy as well. Nobody believe in me. Oh, John Woo is a big director. I always try to let him try something smaller. But my agent is my partner. I don't even make a big movie.
That's a good agent.
In the meantime, since I'm Asian, and I'm Chinese, so there are some other topics like something about history, the American history, or the racial problem, and there's something about the lower class, society. Those kind of script, never sent. When I got those script, they also say, "Oh, it's Chinese," Anyway, since I've got so much fun by shooting Silent Night. It was my first independent film. Like the producer said, I got a lot more freedom. Actually, it was right, and then I didn't get much of an interview from anyone. and then the producer, they never came to the set, So on my own, I can, and I work with my actors so well, and especially with Joe and Catalina. They sometimes they come with some very good idea, and then okay, let's change it, and then forget about the script, for the moment, and then we change whatever we want. Like the scene they are thinking about the sun, all of a sudden Joe came to me, John, I want to do a movement like a sleeping my son, but he's not there. Okay, I came with the ideas. Originally, the scene should have a lot of flashback, like a father and son, they play the toys together, and then we change the idea right away, and nobody else asked why, and we just did it. Okay, I come with the idea, let's do it all in one shot. Okay, you were lying in the back, and then the camera put you into your type, and then we put a kid, beside you, and then the camera pull back again, and then you touch the little boy, and then when the camera pushes it again, little kid, and then the whole shot is so beautiful, and all that really exciting and for everybody, and especially the camera crew, the DP, and the operator, they felt the kind of shot is so beautiful and so challenging.
I think that was one of my favorite moments of my career. It really was. That's what John was describing.
Did you feel that
That's how
freedom?
we work, and then so I feel so much, creative freedom right now, for each one guy. And even though there's sort of money and sort of time, but still we got a fun.
And Catalina and Joel, did you feel that freedom to have you at any time? Is there anything that you want to leave us with as we close out this night from Silent Night, or anything from your career that you want to share with the audience tonight?
Well, I have a big pleasure working on the film, and I think all the actors should take the credit, and even my little daughter over there. She played the me and myself and all the actors, and even the stand team, the cameraman, everyone was, they feel it's a very challenging project, and it was very tough movie. It was a tough movie to shoot, but I'm sure everybody's so glad, the result looked pretty good, And I hope the audience will like it, and also, the movie is sometimes not about how much money you spend. It's how much wisdom we use for the film. Usually the film is not about money. Sometimes some people, they are spending $1 billion, to make a film. I think that and all kind of movies, they all is worth to do it, worth watching, as long as it is the story about you and mine. So like Silent Night is all about